They thought we were past our prime, quiet, settled, done with surprises. So we gave them one they'd never forget, and they couldn't look away. If you're one of the regulars, hit that like and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel, and it helps more than you know. If you're new here, welcome. Let's get into it. It's honestly exhausting, Mrs. Blake sighed dramatically, flopping back against the couch like she was auditioning for sympathy. Every night, like we're trying to win a medal or something. Mr. Blake smirked behind his drink. What can I say? Some of us are still in our prime. Their laughter was too loud, too deliberate. It wasn't for each other. It was for us. Tom sat beside me, calm and unreadable. I could feel his stillness the moment she kept talking. Mrs. Blake raised her glass, flashing us that too wide grin. But hey, at least you guys don't have to worry about that anymore, right? I tilted my head. You've put in your time, she continued, eyes gleaming. Now you get to relax. Enjoy the quieter side of life. She waved her hand vaguely, like she was brushing off the idea of desire, of intimacy, like it was beneath us now. Mr. Blake chuckled. They've earned it, he added, like it was a compliment. Across the room, Mr. Hart looked at his wife, then down at the floor. She gave a thin smile and shifted slightly, her hand barely grazing his knee. They didn't argue. They looked like they agreed, like they'd accepted it, but we hadn't. I reached over, slid my hand across Tom's thigh, then set my glass down. Actually, I said, soft but clear. We still do it, I paused. Almost every night. Mrs. Blake blinked. Mr. Blake stared. His smile wavered. I turned to Tom, ran my fingers up his chest. This one's a beast in bed. Someone inhaled. Quick. Shallow. Tom chuckled low in his throat, finally meeting Mr. Blake's gaze. We've been together 21 years, he said calmly, and I'd say the last 5 have been the best. Mrs. Blake laughed, but it sounded thin now. Wait, seriously? Every night? She gave me a once-over, then looked at Tom again. I mean, you still look amazing, but there's no way he's keeping up with that. She smiled like she was doing us a favor by pretending to believe it. I let the silence stretch. Then I smiled. You'd be surprised what he's capable of. Tom leaned in slightly. She makes it easy to keep up. Mr. Blake laughed, nervous, uncertain. Yeah, well, I don't think I could believe it without seeing it. I tilted my head. You really think I'm bluffing? He didn't answer, but he didn't look away either. I let the silence build between us, let the tension settle into the room like dust. Then I smiled again. You know, I wasn't planning on putting on a show tonight. I stood slowly, walked in front of Tom, smoothed a hand over his shoulder. But since you asked so nicely, I looked directly at Mr. Blake. Don't say I didn't give you a chance to back out. Tom leaned back, arms stretched along the couch, relaxed, like he'd been waiting for this moment. I moved in front of him, fingers trailing down his chest. Then I dropped to my knees. Mrs. Hart gasped softly. What are you doing? I didn't answer. I didn't break eye contact with Tom. I reached for his zipper, my hand wrapped around him, already hard, already waiting, slow, steady. I let them see. Then I looked back over my shoulder and smiled. No one moved. I lowered myself. No teasing, no build-up, just motion, intentional, confident, gasps, shifting, the sound of someone catching their breath. But I didn't stop. I moved like we were alone, like they didn't matter, like their presence only made it better. Tom exhaled, deep and low. His fingers rested at the back of my head, not pushing, just there, guiding. We moved like we'd been doing this for decades, because we had. The room had gone silent, but it wasn't empty. I could feel them, every breath, every stare, every shifting knee and clenched fist. But I didn't look at them. I didn't need to. When I finally pulled back, I stood, slow, deliberate, unbuttoned my blouse, let it fall, then my skirt, then everything else. I climbed onto Tom's lap, skin to skin. Hope you enjoyed the warm-up. And I moved, measured, grounded, intentional. Every movement was for him, every rhythm for us. He didn't lead, he didn't need to. He trusted me to set the pace. And I did. When I leaned in, forehead against his, it wasn't just about sex. It was intimacy, history, power. And then, just beyond my shoulder, I saw her, Mrs. Hart, on her knees, her lips trailing down her husband's body. Mrs. Blake, frozen, face flushed. Mr. Blake, leaning forward, eyes fixed. I looked at them all and smiled. They doubted us. Now they couldn't look away. Tom rose with me, still wrapped around him, and lowered me onto the rug. And he didn't hesitate. Our bodies moved together, a rhythm we'd built over years. The room disappeared. Nothing existed but his weight, his warmth, and the fire building deep inside me. He whispered, "You're unreal." And I believed him. Because we weren't just proving a point, we were reminding them, every single one of them, what it looked like to never let go. And then I saw her again. Mrs. Blake, mouth parted, staring, not judging, just watching. And I held her gaze. I wanted her to see. Every breath, every sound, every tremble. The air was thick with something more than heat, something unspoken, shared, undeniable. Tom didn't waver. Each movement was deliberate, steady. His hands molded to my body like he knew every curve by heart, because he did. His breath was rough at my back, each exhale matching the rhythm we had built together. I could feel the strength in him, not just in the way he moved, but in the way he held me, anchored me, like I was the only thing tethering him to this moment. Behind us, the room had stopped pretending. No more laughter, no more smug glances or offhand comments, just stillness and the sharp, undeniable energy that crackled like static in the silence. A glance over my shoulder showed Mrs. Hart still moving, but slower now, watching. Her husband's hand curled around her hip, his gaze flickering between her and us. Caught between his own experience and the one we were offering like a challenge, and the Blakes, still, unmoving, undone. Mrs. Blake's nails dug into her thigh, subtle but visible, as though grounding herself with pain. Mr. Blake's eyes were glassy, fixed, jaw clenched. The cockiness was gone. The smirk dissolved. What replaced it was something else. Want, envy, maybe even regret. Hard to say, but they were watching, every second, and we didn't stop. Tom's hand splayed across the small of my back, gentle but firm, guiding me. I sank into it, into him, every inch a quiet defiance to the idea that passion fades with time, that love softens, settles, grows tame. Ours hadn't. It had sharpened. It had aged like something rare, smoother in some places but deeper, more potent where it counted. I felt his grip tighten again, not out of control but out of connection. Every shift, every breath, every pulse of him was synced to mine, like this was something rehearsed, refined, not out of habit, but out of knowing. And it was then, when everything was at its most raw, most exposed, that I looked up again, right into Mrs. Blake's eyes. No words passed between us. None were needed. She saw it. All of it. The heat, the tenderness, the reverence, the wild, grounded truth of it all. Her expression shifted, not quite pain, not quite longing, something in between, a quiet realization maybe, or maybe just the aching sting of remembering what she'd once had, or what she thought she deserved. I didn't look away. Let her see. Let them all see. Because this wasn't about showing off. Not really. It was about reminding them, and maybe ourselves, that love doesn't die when the years add up. It evolves. If you let it, if you fight for it, if you still choose each other even when no one's watching. Only this time they were. And when it was over, when our breaths came slower, steadier, when the room finally dared to exhale again, Tom wrapped his arms around me and held me close. Not because he had to, because he wanted to. Because even after all this time, he still did. And the room, no one said a word, because there was nothing left to say. They all watched. So we let them. Be honest. If you were in his place, with the whole room watching, would you have held back, or gone even further? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading. So now I'll ask you again. If you were in that room, watching, feeling everything shift, would you have looked away, or leaned in? Tell me in the comments. I'm reading. And if this stirred something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This story was just one spark. There's so much more to come. Thanks for being here. Always. Until next time.